Greetings everyone. In this video we'll be looking at NCEA Level 1 Mathematics Common Assessment Task, Algebra. And in this video I'll be focusing on different laws of indices that you need to be familiar with for this achievement standard. So the first law is multiplication of exponents. So if you're asked to multiply exponents together and simplify your result, so in general the rule says a to the power of m times a to the power of n is equal to a to the power of m plus n. So what this means is if the basis of the two expressions you are multiplying is same, then we will have the same base as the answer. And what happens to the powers is when we multiply, the powers are added. And one example for this is if you're given y to the power of 5 times y to the power of 7, so we can see that the base is y, which is same, so we can write y to the power of 5 plus 7, and then that simplifies to y to the power of 12. Second one, power of exponents. And in general, if you're given a to the power of m raised to the power of n, this in simplest form will be written as a to the power of m times n. So in this case we multiply the powers. And an example for this one, if you're given something like this, x cubed to the power of 4, this means we get the same base x and we multiply the powers. 3 times 4 is 12. And another scenario can be where we have got a constant which is also raised to the power, so k a to the power of m whole thing raised to the power of n. So in this case k is also raised to the power of n, and this is where students forget that k is inside the bracket, so this is also raised to the power of n. So please watch out for this one. So k to the power of n, and then a m times n, which is our previous rule here. An example for this one, if you're given 2x cubed whole thing raised to the power of 4, this means 2 is raised to the power of 4, and then x is the power of 3 times 4, which is 12. And then we can further simplify. 2 to the power of 4 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, so 2 is multiplied by itself 4 times, and that gives you 16. So the answer is 16x to the power of 12. Third one, division of exponents. So if you are dividing the two exponents, so for example, in general, a to the power of m divided by a to the power of n, this can be written as a to the power of m minus n. Keep in mind we are having the same base here, so if you're dividing, the powers are subtracted, and if you're multiplying, the powers are added. And for example here, y to the power of 16 divided by y to the power of 7 is same as y to the power of 16 take away 7, and that simplifies to y to the power of 9. Next one, if you're given exponents of 0, so anything raised to the power of 0, for example, a to the power of 0 is always equal to 1. So you just need to remember this. Anything raised to the power of 0 is always 1. For example, 18 to the power of 0 is 1, or 1000 to the power of 0 is always 1. And then the final one that you may need to remember for this paper is negative exponents. So if you're given negative exponents, so that means a to the power of negative n, so the power here is negative. This can be written as 1 over a to the power of positive n. So we get a fraction form. And an example, if you're given y to the power of negative 5, this is same as saying it's 1 over y to the power of positive 5. And if you're given 1 over a to the power of negative n, you would have guessed it, this will be same as a to the power of positive n. So we just move this one up, the sign will change. And if this one is going down there, the sign reverses. So in this case, if you're given 1 over y to the power of negative 5, this simplifies to y to the power of positive 5. I hope this makes sense. I would suggest if you could pause the video and make notes of these laws of indices. And in the next video, I will do some exam type questions where you'll be applying these laws. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.